The following clip was recorded by a team of paranormal investigators who decided to livestream their exploration of an abandoned house, allowing viewers to witness in real time what they described as one of the most aggressive environments they had ever entered. A place where silence never truly felt empty and every step seemed to disturb something that did not want to be found. Almost immediately after entering, the atmosphere inside the house felt heavy and unwelcoming. The kind of oppressive stillness investigators often associate with locations that have been abandoned for long periods. Places where memories, trauma, and emotional energy are believed to linger without interruption, slowly shaping the environment into something far more hostile over time.
Aoleu, a spart bateria. Băi, bă, a rămas bateria acolo, băi. Nu mai cânta, băi, nu mai cânta, băi, omule, băi. Băi, oprește-te, băi. Bă, oprește-te, băi, că s-o dișălat bateria aici, am cațaș. Fugi. Fugi. Dă-i tare. Băi, cum îmi plângi? Dai, măi, oleacă. Uite ce-am făcut aici. Are pe bune. O început cânta Ionuț acolo în cameră, de rămas dulapul de tot.
Doamne Iisuse Hristoase, Dumnezeul nostru, Cel ce a făcut cerul și pământul, marea și toate cerele.
Aoleu, a spart bateria. Băi.
Objects inside the house suddenly begin scattering violently, shifting and falling with force in a way that makes it clear this is not the result of simple structural instability or natural movement, but something deliberate, something reacting to their presence as if disturbed by the intrusion. Many paranormal researchers believe abandoned buildings become ideal environments for darker entities, especially because they remain undisturbed for years, allowing whatever presence exists there to grow stronger without resistance, feeding off isolation, decay, and the absence of human activity until the moment someone enters and disrupts that balance. But this was not the only time they captured something disturbing. During another live stream at a completely different abandoned house, the investigators experienced something that left both them and their viewers shaken. Watch.
Da cu casetofonul ăsta mini, da cu dulapul mini. Oricare spirit ai aflat aici, oricare... Ce-a fost asta? Ce-a fost asta? S-a disfăcut sertarul în capul.
Ferească-mă Dumnezeu, dacă nu mai citesc o dată.
Fai de capul, mă, dacă nu nebunesc. Uitați, uite spiritul cum trece pe aici, uite, uite. Da cu dulapul mini. Îți ordon oricare spirit ai aflat, oricare...
Ce-ai zis așa, măi?
Nu, am stricat tot, gata.
De ce ai zis să-i nu trebuia să zici?
Vai de capul,
o rup priză, o rup tot.
Pleacă, gata.
Ți-am zis să nu zici. Ai zis să te ia cu dulapul în tine, de ce ai zis?
Vai de capul meu.
Nu trebuia să zici.
În fața mea, Ionuț.
Hai de mine, nu trebuia să zici. Nu trebuia să cânt nicio aia.
Pardon, oricare spirit te afla, oricare...
Ăsta pe bunii de mână, pe bunii de la mare.
Na, Ionuț.
Nu-ți de aminte de ei. ci cochii, ci căcate, ăștia.
A, tu cu moliftele tale, cu astea.
Nu, că e de la molift.
Nu e de la molift.
Ai zis tu.
Am zis eu.
First, some viewers tried to dismiss what appeared on camera as nothing more than dust particles or light reflecting off debris in the air, but that explanation quickly becomes difficult to accept when you notice the timing. The formation appears almost immediately after one of the investigators directly asks if any spirits are present, as if responding to the question itself. And then, only moments later, the shelf suddenly comes crashing down with force, violently collapsing in a way that suggests something far stronger than coincidence. Whatever was inside that house was strong enough to disrupt the environment, strong enough to respond, and strong enough to make it clear that it did not want them there. And encounters like this are exactly why investigators warn that some abandoned places are not empty at all, they are occupied. We can only hope that whatever was strong enough to cause that level of destruction never follows anyone home. This next video was captured by a woman's CCTV camera, and when she reviewed the footage later that morning, she noticed something that immediately made her stop and replay the moment over and over again, because what appeared on the screen didn't resemble anything she could explain through normal means. Watch.
All right, you guys, this happened. So much shit happened yesterday, it's not even funny. On the 17th yesterday at 6:55 a.m., look at the car cruising by slowly, but that's not it, y'all. Let me know if I'm tripping, y'all. Let me know. At 6:55. Now, hold on, y'all. 3 minutes later. Let's get to it. Here he comes. Hold on. Let me show y'all the time. So, y'all, 3 minutes later. After this car. Come on, man. Talk to me. Hold on, y'all. Watch it. No. Let's play it back one more time. Y'all played this video over and over and over again because I was like, hold on, is it a headlamp? Watch. That's his eyes, y'all. Man, let's do it again. This is the part right here. Hold on. No, did you see how it went? Y'all, I can't do it, man. I can't. Where you at? Watch how it goes. It already did it. Y'all, did you see how it's going inside of his face, though? Like, a headlamp. No, that part right there. Hold on. I went live. Watch this light. I went live a few hours later. This is yesterday, too, about 7:30. Look at that. For those of you who was on my live. As long as you receive my love and you give back love, I love you. Oh! And you can hear the click, y'all. And you can hear the click. But as long as you receive my love and you give back love, I love you. Oh! So what was that? What was that flashlight? Now, this last video, I'm going to have to upload it by itself because y'all need to hear the sound. This was also the 17th. This was at 10:30, about 10:30 p.m., same day.
At first glance, it's easy to assume the light could be coming from a headlamp or perhaps some kind of reflection from a passing vehicle, but that explanation quickly falls apart the moment you focus on the details. The light is positioned directly where the eyes would be, and doesn't behave like light reflecting. After this, she began noticing other strange changes around her property. Her motion alerts became more frequent, even on nights when there were no animals, no people, and no environmental triggers that could explain the activity. Sometimes the cameras would activate repeatedly within minutes of each other, as if something was pacing just outside her home, staying close but never fully revealing itself. Another night, she captured something even stranger, this time on her phone. Watch.
I saw you. The two glowing eyes right there. In between the two trees. Right there. It just did something. What is that? Oh, y'all see it. Y'all see it. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, it's a light beam. Oh my god. Y'all see it? You guys. It's too much. It's a lot just happened. Like, I'm waiting for my son. That was the ET I saw behind. Y'all, I seen it right here through the rearview mirror. The side mirror. I caught it, like the last part of it going by. And I'm trying to see which side did it go to.
In the footage, what appears to be a concentrated mass of light briefly forms and moves in a way that feels controlled rather than random, which has led many viewers to speculate that it could be what paranormal researchers sometimes describe as an energy manifestation, a form entities are believed to take when they do not have enough strength to fully appear as a solid figure. These manifestations are often described as existing somewhere between visible and invisible, appearing as glowing forms, flickers, or silhouettes made of light rather than matter. Some believe these forms are used to observe, to move quietly without being fully seen, especially in the early stages of a haunting when whatever is present has not yet fully anchored itself to the location. But the situation became even more unsettling when her CCTV camera captured something else. Listen closely. Heavy footsteps can be heard moving through the area, accompanied by raspy, unnatural sounds that don't resemble speech, breathing, or any known animal. For weeks now, she says it feels like something has been watching her. Her cameras activate almost every night, and the activity always happens in patterns, never random, as if whatever it is knows exactly where she is and when she is most vulnerable. Also, she's been having nightmares, but there's one in particular that left her deeply shaken. She describes dreaming about Egypt, about standing alone while what looked like an army of dark figures rushed toward her. She remembers waking up not in her bed, but in her driveway, disoriented, with no memory of how she got there. Since then, she has also reported hearing tapping on her walls at night, faint at first, but persistent, sometimes moving from one side of the house to another, as if something is trying to find a way in. Some believe the activity may have first attached itself to the location outside, possibly drawn to the property or passing through the area, and that by reviewing the footage repeatedly, focusing on it, and giving it attention, she may have unknowingly encouraged it to come closer. Attention is often described as a form of invitation, acknowledgement that can strengthen a presence and allow it to transition from being something that lingers outside to something that begins to enter. Whether this is a series of camera anomalies, sleep disturbances influencing perception, or something far more sinister slowly closing in, for now, it remains a mystery. The following video comes from another haunted home, this one owned by a woman named Lauren, who says the activity inside her house has been escalating steadily over time, shifting from small, dismissible moments to patterns that feel intentional, calculated, and increasingly difficult to ignore. Before this particular night, Lauren had already documented multiple unsettling incidents. She discovered footprints appearing on her floors that didn't match the size or shape of anyone living in the house, some smaller than an adult's, others oddly shaped, as if the impression was incomplete, like something tried to step into the physical world but didn't fully succeed. She has also described repeatedly seeing figures move at the edge of her vision, never directly in front of her, always just beyond clear sight, forcing her to question whether she imagined it, until it kept happening. There have been voices too, faint at first, almost blending into background noise, but clear enough that she knew they weren't coming from outside. Voices heard while she was completely alone. She has also watched objects shift subtly from where she left them, doors creak open after being firmly closed, and small items fall without any visible cause. Individually, each of these events could be explained away, but together, they form something far more disturbing. One night, just as Lauren was about to go to bed, she heard noises again, and instead of ignoring it, she reached for her phone and began recording. Watch.
downstairs and check something because I just heard a noise. Did you hear that? Okay. Okay. It's time to come back. Thought I heard something. I don't know. What was that? What was that? Okay.
If you listen closely, you can hear what sounds like children playing, and the unsettling part is that there are no children there. Childlike voices are sometimes associated with what investigators call mimic entities, presences that imitate innocence to appear less threatening, slowly building comfort before escalating activity. Others believe residual hauntings can replay fragments of past life, like recordings embedded into the structure of a house, looping moments that once happened there. But the activity Lauren describes doesn't feel residual. So for now, Lauren continues to document everything, hoping to eventually understand what's sharing her home with her. Until then, this chilling case remains unexplained. Now, in this next video, a family claims they have been dealing with what they believe are mimics inside their home. And according to them, this wasn't the first strange incident. For months leading up to this night, they had reported hearing their names being called from empty rooms, footsteps pacing upstairs when no one was there, and doors opening shortly after they were shut. On more than one occasion, the children insisted they heard their mother calling them from the hallway, only to find her downstairs the entire time. At first, the parents assumed it was imagination or acoustics playing tricks on them, but the pattern became harder to dismiss when the voices began perfectly matching their tones. One night, the father was still at work when something deeply unsettling happened. Watch.
A ver, vamos. Ya saben que no es papá, ¿eh? Ya saben que no es papá. Tranquilos.
Vengan, vengan. Córranle, vengan. Miren a la mano que les compré. Les va a gustar, vénganse.
Amigos, mi esposo no puede ser.
Ale.
Mi esposo
Ven,
salió.
mamacita. Ven, Alexa. Ven, mamá. Mira lo que te compré, hija.
Mi esposo no es, amigos. Mi esposo
Ven,
no
mi
es.
niña. Ven, corazón. ¡Chamacos!
Mamá, ese no es mi
¡Chamacos!
No, mi amor, ya
Mamá,
sé.
cierra.
¡Vengan!
Tranquilos.
¡Vengan!
In the recording, a voice can be heard clearly calling out from inside the house. It sounds exactly like the father, but when the wife immediately messages her husband to ask why he's calling out instead of simply coming inside, his reply sends a chill through her. He's still at work, and even if he had arrived, there would be no reason to stand downstairs repeatedly calling their names instead of walking in and greeting them like he always does. Mimic entities are considered especially disturbing because they do not simply produce random noises. They imitate. They study, they replicate voices with precision, often targeting close family members to create confusion and draw someone toward the sound. Some believe these entities feed on reaction and fear, growing bolder the more attention they receive. Others warn that responding directly to a mimic, especially by calling back or searching for it, can escalate activity. But what do you think? An elaborate audio illusion, a psychological misinterpretation, or something far darker? You decide. Now, in this next clip, popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his investigation inside the infamous Blackford County Jail, a location widely regarded as one of the most feared and talked about haunted buildings in the state of Indiana. Its aging corridors and rusted cell blocks carrying decades of violent history, failed escapes, and stories that many believe never truly ended. At around 3 a.m., after a night already filled with strange and difficult to explain occurrences, Ian makes his way into the men's cell block, carefully stepping between the narrow rows of iron bars while documenting the area with his camera, hoping to capture anything unusual that might reveal itself in the stillness of the empty prison. But while reviewing the photographs he had just taken, he notices something deeply unsettling. Staring back at him from inside one of the cells are what appear to be a pair of eyes, clearly visible through the bars, fixed directly in his direction despite the fact that he is completely alone inside the building. And this is where things start to get even more disturbing. Only seconds later, his voice recorder captures a chilling message.
Like you're supposed to be.
At the time, Ian doesn't fully understand the meaning behind the words or the danger they may represent, but what happens next makes it clear that whatever is present inside the cell block is not passive and not willing to be ignored. Moments later, this happened.
Hello? What the f was that? Oh my god. Oh, I've had enough. I've had enough. Oh, that was in this cell. That was in here. What the heck was that? Whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What the? Look at, dude, holy sh**. Something fucking just destroyed that cell.
Without warning, the mattress resting on one of the cots suddenly lifts into the air with enough force to separate from the metal frame, before violently slamming back down onto the bed. Although he didn't capture the movement on camera, the sound alone is enough to confirm that something happened in that room. Despite the fear and despite every instinct telling him to leave, Ian chose to stay, holding on to the promise he had made to himself long ago, that this time he would not run. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following video was captured inside a hospital by Dave, a man who claims he's been gifted with sight since he was young. According to him, he doesn't just sense things, he sees and hears them, and he says spirits tend to follow him, especially in places where emotions are intense, like hospitals, cemeteries, abandoned buildings, places where life and death have crossed paths. While Dav was receiving treatment, he suddenly felt like he wasn't alone in the room. Watch.
There's like something in this room that is like moving, like the chairs. Move this shit right here. Oh, my bad. That shit hurt. But anyways, if there's a spirit in here, just let me know, you know. And sometimes things, this is Kaiser. Oh, good. I felt like a really, really heavy presence in this room right when I walked in, but I just thought I see something sitting right there. I'm sorry. My phone. That's not good. There's a lot of things happening here. Even that door slowly opened and closed right now. If there's anything in here, just give me a sign. I'm here in peace. Okay, you can say anything. Just don't mess with my heart monitor or anything. That started to move. But it could be people up there. I just came up here. Something in here, TV or something. Move anything you want. Let the people know that you're speak into this thing. Show me your hair, presents. You could, I got a gift, and I'm not afraid. So if you decide to move anything, open that door again, I won't be frightened. What the hell? Oh. Whoa, shh. Excuse me, nurse. Oh, that's some activity. Excuse me. This thing fell. Right here. Yeah, I don't know. I maybe it just fell.
Oh, weird.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was just sleeping and
Well, that scared you, huh?
yeah, it scared the shit.
I was worried. I thought you fell.
Oh no.
It wasn't you. All right.
Okay, people, that was a scary situation. I know I didn't jerk, but yeah, it's ghost activity. Oh my god. Oh crap. Well, I got the gift, but I'm not gonna abuse it. I just asked for, little signs here and there. They showed them to me. Nothing to be alarmed about, people. Didn't feel it was evil at all. But, whoa, I know you guys heard that over there. Woo! Anyways, God bless you guys. I'm not gonna entertain them anymore because I don't need my heart to go racing. God bless you guys. But anyways, I was gonna cut this video short, but right when I was gonna cut it short, something else happened. But I'm waiting for it to happen again. So this right here, mind you, this is the only sliding door that's open. But this right here pulled all the way back this way. So what happened last time was I was asking it for a sign, and it pushed over this metal thing right here. I had to tell the nurse I was sleeping because I didn't want her to think I did the shit, or I just told her I don't know. I didn't know what to, make up, but this shit is, it's crazy, And all I asked is for a sign, and they gave them to me. But the thing is, I'm used to it under the signs, But in hospitals, there's a lot of activity, and I already know I'm gonna find something, that would give me a sign or whatever. Oh, just like that. That was up there under my sweater or some shit. Okay. I know you're not welcome here, so you can go back to wherever you come from. Cause I'm not taking that. And this arm right here is You can't do nothing with it. It hurts. So I gotta lay on my side right here. Hey people, God bless you, blessings, and man, pray for me.
If you listen closely, after he says, "I'm here for peace," a faint whisper can be heard saying, "Help," and then what sounds like "knife." That detail is what unsettled viewers the most. Some speculate it could be the spirit of someone who passed away in that very room, possibly someone connected to surgery or a traumatic procedure. Hospitals are places of healing, but they're also places of loss, fear, and unfinished stories. In paranormal theory, strong emotional events can leave behind residual energy, like a recording that replays under the right conditions. Others believe this could be an intelligent haunting, meaning whatever is there is aware and responding directly to Dave, especially since the whisper appears right after he speaks. During his stay, Dave also mentioned feeling a heavy presence near the chair in the room. He said the energy felt concentrated there, like someone was sitting and watching him, but when he looked, no one was there. Of course, skeptics argue hospitals are full of ambient noise, machines humming, distant voices, equipment moving, and audio pareidolia can make random sounds seem like words. According to them, when you expect to hear something, your brain can fill in the blanks. So was it simply hospital acoustics playing tricks on the ears? Or did someone or something in that room hear him when he said he came in peace and answered back? You decide. In this next video, Andrea is walking her dog late at night when something in the distance makes her stop. At first, she thinks it's just her eyes adjusting to the dark, but then she notices shapes that don't look quite right. So she pulls out her phone and starts recording. Have a look. In the distance, 3 shadow figures appear to be standing completely still. Some believe they could simply be people standing under poor lighting, their features swallowed by the darkness. At night, depth perception becomes unreliable. Streetlights can distort proportions, and shadows can merge together, making ordinary figures look unnaturally tall or solid black. But others argue something feels off. In paranormal discussions, shadow figures are often described exactly this way: human-shaped, lacking detail, and usually seen in peripheral vision. They're said to be watchers, observers, and in some reports, they appear in groups of 2 or 3. The fact that there are 3 of them standing together raises even more concern for believers. Some theories suggest that multiple figures appearing at once could indicate something more intelligent or coordinated, not residual energy, but active presence. As for danger, most accounts claim shadow entities don't always attack, but they can induce fear, paralysis, or a feeling of being targeted. And fear is something certain entities feed off. Whatever they were, one thing is clear: they weren't moving, and they were aware enough to stand there while being filmed. Until clearer footage surfaces, what Andre saw that night remains a mystery. Now in this next video, a team of paranormal investigators visit an abandoned house that locals have refused to go near for years. The place has been empty for decades, and as many paranormal researchers will tell you, abandoned buildings have a way of holding onto energy. When houses are left to decay, especially ones tied to unknown histories, tragedies, or sudden departures, believers say the energy inside can become stagnant, trapped. So the team sets up their equipment: EMF readers, cameras, and most importantly, trip wires. For those unfamiliar, tripwires are extremely sensitive devices designed to trigger if something physically passes through them. Not wind, not distant vibration, but something crossing the line. As they begin asking questions, trying to provoke a response, this happens.
And see what's popping. Nope, that's not a new tripwire. That's the same tripwire that we use at the breakfast state, that I've used in other places. Okay. That door just opened up by itself. I didn't even get that far. Dude.
You were not pure or even.
This door just opened up by itself. Here we go. Wait. Crazy, right? That was me. I bumped into the table here. If you heard something rattle, that was me. With that door opening up.
The trip wires suddenly went nuts, and then, almost on cue, the door slowly opens by itself. Skeptics argue structural shifts could trigger the wires, but paranormal experts would say something else entirely. They believe abandoned spaces can act like containers, especially if something tragic happened there. If investigators actively try to communicate, they're essentially knocking on whatever door exists between worlds. And sometimes, something knocks back. Abandoned buildings already carry risk, unstable floors, toxic air, human squatters. But if something unseen is also moving through the halls, that's a different kind of danger. So was this structural coincidence, or did something in that house finally respond to being called out? You decide. The following video was recorded by a woman named Simone during what was supposed to be a normal evening walk. Watch closely. If you pause at the right moment, you'll notice a dark figure leaning against a tree before it suddenly darts away. At first, Simone brushed it off. Maybe it was a trick of the light, maybe someone was hiding. But what unsettled her wasn't just what she saw, it was what she felt after leaving the area. Even when she had completely walked past the tree line, she couldn't shake the sensation that someone was still behind her, matching her pace. On her way home, she passed a strange building she'd never paid attention to before. This time, she went in. As she steps inside the dark room, look toward the right side of the door near the end of the clip. Something shifts behind it. Simone later said that's when the idea first crossed her mind. What if whatever she saw near the tree wasn't random? What if it was watching her? A few evenings later, she passed the same building again, and this time she heard a voice that sounded exactly like her sister calling her name.
I don't know why the lights are on, but I'm going inside of this house. I just heard my sister's voice, and I'm sick of this. And I need to figure out what's going on so I can put a stop to it. Why is this chair in the middle of the floor?
Mimicking entities are considered particularly dangerous. They don't just appear, they imitate familiar voices to lure people closer. When Simone stepped inside, she noticed a chair positioned strangely in the middle of the room. Before she could even finish talking, she saw the figure again. After that encounter, she convinced herself the entity was attached to the abandoned house, not her. But that assumption didn't last long, because soon after, her own home stopped being quiet. Banging at night, footsteps when she's alone, whispers she can't trace, and an overwhelming sense of fear that comes without warning. One day, a friend visited after hearing everything, and this happened.
Hey guys, it's Simone again.
You kidding me?
Yeah. So I'm here with my friend Lexi, and I thought that this was over, but it's still happening. Something from this entity is still trying to get to me, so...
I thought you were kidding.
No.
Like, this is horrible.
I'm not kidding.
I don't know how you've been living like this. This is literally, like... I've checked this door 5 times. There's no way anyone is in the backyard.
Yeah. So, still going on, and I just wanted to come back and report to you guys that it's still impacting my life every day.
I'm so sorry. This is insane.
Here's the unsettling theory. If the activity followed Simone home, then this may not be about a haunted location anymore. It could be attachment, a phenomenon where an entity fixates on a person rather than a place. And attachments, according to paranormal researchers, rarely fade on their own. It's hard to walk away from something like this without answers, but Simone isn't ready to stop investigating until she understands what's happening. Now, this strange video was posted on December 27th, 2025 by a veterinary hospital in Madison, Alabama. But what makes it even more unsettling is that the footage itself had reportedly been kept private for nearly 4 years. According to the clinic's owner, Renee, something happened that night that caused all employees on shift to stop what they were doing. Have a look.
That's weird. Where is that coming from? It don't sound like it's coming from. Okay, so you still want to do banana bags, 15 mils an hour, head of starch, 4 mils an hour. It's coming from over this way. Alright. Medication, metronidazole, 15 mils BID, IV. Wait, is it Scarlet? Wait. I cleansed it off before getting meds. Is somebody dropping it off up there? What's coming from up there? They may have done that when they switched the bag. Is it the new bag for me? No. Alright, who's gonna get it? Help me. It's in the lobby. It's coming from the lobby. No, it's not. Where is that? Is that in here? What is that? What, phantom dolls? That's fucking weird. Is it Charles? You heard that, right? We all heard that. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything. What did you hear? A dog keeps yapping. Is it Dakota? No. Look, it's coming from over here. Why don't you look in the front porch and make sure they didn't dump one or throw one in the pen outside or something? I didn't hear anything. You're not hearing that. 3 of us heard it. I didn't hear it, no. You heard it, right? I heard it. I didn't hear it. You can't hear it coming from this side. You can't hear it at IPA though, right? No. Look at that fence out there and make sure somebody throw one in the fence. I heard nothing. I was like, what are y'all talking about? Yeah, that's a brand new bag. That's fucking bizarre. Yeah. Did you hear it? I haven't heard it. I still haven't heard it. All 3 of us heard it, and it was coming from that. It sounded like it was in that room or something. Like it sounded like it was like right 3 or 4. We're gonna play that back. I didn't even hear anything. Can you play it like specifically in those rooms or anything?
After reviewing the footage, Renee says there was no logical explanation for what they witnessed. And this wasn't an isolated event. Over time, strange activity became almost routine inside the clinic. Dog kennels securely latched would open on their own in the middle of the night. Office supplies and lightweight equipment were found scattered across rooms that had been locked. Staff members reported hearing scratching sounds coming from empty runs long after the last patient had gone home. Sometimes motion sensors would trigger in rooms where no animal was being treated. For a veterinary hospital, that detail hits differently. Because this isn't just any building, it's a place filled with heightened emotion, fear, grief, relief, heartbreak. It's where some families say goodbye to beloved pets, and many pet owners will tell you that after their animal passes, they still hear the faint scratch at the door, still feel the weight at the foot of the bed, still think they see a quick shadow dart past in the hallway. Some believe animals, especially loyal ones, linger, and that's the theory whispered among staff, that perhaps some of the dogs who passed away in that clinic never fully left, that the scratching isn't imagination, and that the kennel's opening isn't mechanical failure. So what do you think? Is it residual energy, emotional imprints replaying themselves, or something else using the setting to its advantage? Renee says she doesn't know what's in her clinic, but she's no longer convinced it's empty after closing time. The following video was recorded around 3 a.m. by a guy who struggles to sleep at night, so he usually keeps himself busy until the exhaustion finally kicks in. On this particular night, he was watching TV like he always does, but when he stood up to head to bed, he suddenly felt something. Watch this.
What's up? What the f? Did you hear that jingle then? You hear that jingle? That definitely moved. What the f is going on in this house? And my cat as well just keeps doing this. My cat just keeps walking around meowing, which is also freaking me out. So weird. So weird. Are you here to hurt me? Are you here to do me harm? Are you friendly? Whoa, what the f? Nah. Nah, f off. No way. What the f? No, man. No way that just moved. Loki? Loki? You need to get out of my house, whatever you are, whoever you are, you need to leave. You need to leave right now. I don't know what's going on.
The moment viewers saw the African mask hanging on his wall, the comments section exploded. People wanted to know where he got it, how long he'd had it, and whether its presence lined up with the strange activity he'd been experiencing. And the more he talked, the more everything started to make sense. He revealed that he's owned the mask for a year, but it had only been inside his home for a couple of months. And ever since then, he'd been hearing noises while lying in bed. Light taps, distant footsteps, soft shuffling in the hallway. At first, he ignored it, but now it's escalating. Another morning, around 4 a.m., wide awake again and unable to shake the uneasiness, he finally decided to make a video for everyone begging to see the mask up close. Watch.
Anyone anyone's got any opinions on this after they've seen it up close. What kind of mask it is, how old it might be. No expert, but what the Well, that's not pretty, is it? Jesus Christ. For fuck's sake. I'm tripping over stuff now. Hello? Hello? Oh, no. Everyone's been saying, why have you got the lights off all the time? The landing light does not work, right? There's no bulb in this light. Because usually I ain't shit scared of going upstairs. But I'm doing this because I just want to try and prove to you all there's nobody in the house but me and whatever the this is with me. Oh! Oh my god! Oh, you fucking hell. There was a figure in the window. There was a silhouette in the window. There was a silhouette in the window. Oh my god. Oh my god. Why are you doing this? Huh?
After that clip surfaced, his viewers began sharing their own experiences with similar African masks. Some claim the masks brought them sudden waves of bad luck until they removed them from their homes. Others said their once quiet house became strangely active and unsettling the moment the mask was hung up. Many urged him to get rid of it before whatever was attached to it got comfortable. And here's where things get even more intriguing. In many African cultures, traditional masks aren't just decorations. They're spiritual artifacts. Some are used in ceremonies to honor ancestors, summon spirits, or protect the tribe. But others serve as conduits, symbols meant to channel ancient energies, often tied to rituals outsiders may not fully understand. If a mask like this was once used in a ritual or belonged to a lineage of spiritual significance, it could carry an imprint, a presence. So the real question is, Does he just have an artifact on his wall, or did he unknowingly bring something ancient into his home? In this next clip, two friends were on their way home after a party. They were still laughing, still hyped, and decided to record a quick video to send to the friends who couldn't make it, just to show them how the night went and how chaotic the party had been. But while filming that harmless update, they ended up capturing something entirely different. Have a look.
Got my son in the back seat. Shut your. You ain't getting no ice cream. Why do you scream like that? No. Hello? Hello? I don't like that. Did that was her. Grab the phone. What the heck? Did we just catch a paranormal Huh? Grab the phone. I'm not doing this no more. Grab the phone. I'm trying. Don't leave me. What do you do? I'm about to fall on my face. No, I'm not. No! No, do not. Door. Is this still recording? Yes! Oh my god, it's me.
Now, here's where things get strange. The exact moment they screamed, the car's light suddenly went off. But could there be a normal explanation? Some people think so. They argue that loud vibrations inside a car can loosen wiring or cause an already faulty light to flicker. Maybe the timing was just a strange coincidence, but others aren't buying it. They point out that the light didn't dim. It cut out instantly, like something interfered with the energy around them. Some are convinced they might have stirred up something they couldn't see, something that reacted the moment their voices spiked. So did their screaming disrupt the car light, or did they unknowingly catch a paranormal moment on camera? You decide. Now in this next video, a woman named Jennifer Ricks stumbled upon an old clip her daughter recorded about a year ago. Before finding this video, Jennifer had already been dealing with strange things around the house. Moments where she'd be sitting completely still, home alone, and a dark shadow would walk past the hallway like it had somewhere to be. Her dog, normally calm, also barks at odd hours of the night, sometimes staring into corners as if watching something move. But she never connected any of it. Not until she saw this clip. According to her daughter, the moment she was filming, it felt like someone was trying to take a peek at her from behind the door. That quiet, unsettling sensation of being watched, the same feeling Jennifer herself had dismissed for months. And when you put this clip side by side with all the strange things that have been happening in the house, it's hard not to understand why Jennifer now believes something is truly off. But the real fear isn't what they've already seen, it's what might come next. If this presence has been around for over a year without them realizing it, what else has it been doing that they haven't noticed yet? Until more updates come in, this one remains completely unsolved. The following footage was taken by a man's home camera, and what he later saw still stuns him to this day. Have a look.
You want to see something weird? I have the blink camera in the poltergeist attic. Now I know that nobody is home. I check back on the footage and I see a light turn off downstairs. But there's nobody home. Nobody home. Nobody home. Very weird, but a very, very good capture. check this out. I mean, people could be like, oh, well, there was somebody down there, and I wouldn't post something like that, right? This is crazy.
The craziest part of this footage is that you can clearly hear the sound of the light switch being flipped. That sharp, unmistakable click that only happens when someone physically touches it. Your first thought might be an intruder, right? Someone wandering through the house without his knowledge. But that theory falls apart quickly when you know the other things he's shared. Objects in his house have moved suddenly without explanation. A few times, items have even fallen on him, as if pushed, and more than once, he's caught faint laughter echoing from this exact same room. Soft, almost playful, but definitely not human. Viewers who analyzed his older clips pointed out something else. Strange-looking dolls and toys scattered around the room, some with faces that look unsettlingly worn or distorted. He's never addressed their origin, but people can't help but wonder if one of them is tied to whatever's going on. So when you take everything together, the laughter, the objects moving, the eerie toys, and now a light switch flipping on its own, the idea of an intruder becomes the least likely explanation. It feels more like something has made this room its space, something that doesn't mind being heard, and now doesn't mind being seen. But in the end, I'll leave it to you. What do you think he's dealing with? Having a home camera is like having an extra pair of eyes watching the moments you never even knew were happening. And that's exactly what happened in this next clip you're about to see. Watch. The camera suddenly detected movement, followed by loud banging and knocking that seemed to come out of nowhere. The owner of the house said it felt like something was there, something she couldn't see but definitely could hear. That's why she decided to share the footage online, hoping other people might catch something she's been missing. So take another look. What else do you see in this clip? In this next clip, a man and his son went to check on a storage unit where he keeps all his fancy collectibles and strange antiques. But lately he's been convinced something malevolent is inside that unit. Objects shift on their own, and even the employees have reached out to complain about loud crashes and bangs coming from his space. They even invited him over so they could show him the clips themselves, and confirm whether he was anywhere near the facility when those sounds were recorded. But he wasn't. And that only made his suspicions feel a whole lot more real. But the staff didn't believe him at first, so he decided to prove it. He set up cameras inside the unit. Watch.
But just watch the video for yourself.
After he posted this clip, viewers swarmed the comments warning him to never take the cursed monkey doll home. This doll, which cost him nearly $2,000, has a history he didn't know about until it was too late. From the moment he brought it into the unit, the activity escalated. Wherever this doll sits, things fall, objects slide, and even heard from people that once owned something like it, that it might be tied to old ceremonial practices, or that the doll was once used as a vessel in rituals meant to house wandering spirits. Whether any of that is true, well, that's up for debate, but one thing is certain, he's never carrying that doll home. Now, in this next video, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his exploration inside one of Nebraska's most notoriously haunted places, the Argo Hotel. If you've been following his investigations, you already know this place has a reputation for strange activity, and Ian has captured plenty of it on camera. But on this night, after wrapping up his walkthrough, he realized there was one room he hadn't checked. Watch.
Those are some freaky dolls. Did you just make that noise? It definitely came from over here. Little girl, if that was you, would you be able to... Oh God! Alright, that's it. That's it. That doll just turned and looked at me, and I am done. Get me out of here. Alright guys, I know I ran, but damn, that was freaky. I don't know, I just couldn't handle it down there anymore. There's just a whole nother feeling, especially when you're all by yourself. Oh man, that was so freaking crazy. I can't believe that doll just turned and looked at me like that. It looked like it was possessed. Like it literally, like I was worried I was gonna get possessed or something. Like, oh my gosh, dude, that was so freaking scary. Holy moly. But anyways, I'm gonna leave cameras down there for the rest of the night. I think I'm gonna call it a night. I'm about at my limit for now. But this is a fantastic location. I absolutely love this place. This was such a fun investigation. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, be sure to like it. Again, comment your thoughts down below, and also subscribe if you haven't already. But I'll see you guys on the next one.
The doll suddenly turns, slowly, directly toward him, almost like it's aware of him, like it's responding. And in that moment, Ian is done. Completely done with this place. He leaves immediately. No hesitation, no second guesses. But the question is, how did it move? The most well-known spirit in the Argo Hotel is a woman named Alice, believed to haunt the basement. According to local stories, she passed away in childbirth in the 1940s, and people say she still wanders the halls searching for her lost baby. Some think she attaches herself to children's toys. Others believe dolls act as vessels that make it easier for her to communicate. Whatever the case may be, the Argo Hotel continues to leave investigators with more questions than answers, and to this day, the mystery remains. The following video was recorded by Francisco, a man who works at the Gallup Indian Medical Center, a place known for late-night emergencies, long, quiet hallways, and the kind of unexplained noises staff usually try not to think too much about. Things fall on their own sometimes. Doors close when no one's around, and workers have shared stories of hearing footsteps long after the wards are empty. And on this particular evening, Francisco had his own experience. He was the only person left at work around 5 p.m. when he started hearing things.
And I'm just recording because I don't know who it could be or anyone's here. It's just me here. It's like 5 o'clock and nobody's here and I'm the only one here ready to leave. Hello? 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 There's nobody here. Hello? 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 Where is it coming from? There's nobody. I don't know where that noise is coming from. Hello? Anybody here?
He kept walking from one section of the office to another, checking every corner, every hallway, but there was nothing. Yet the knocking continued, clear, deliberate. And according to some beliefs, when a knock happens 3 times, it's not always a person. Some say it's a way for a spirit to mimic human behavior. Others believe it's a warning or a way to get someone's attention. Unsettled and unable to shake the experience, Francisco went straight to the security unit to explain what had happened. But when they pulled up the feed, no one was there. Just Francisco, and whoever or whatever wanted him to know he wasn't alone. Now Francisco is left with one question. If this happens again, what's he supposed to do? Ignore it, confront it, or leave it completely alone? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. This next clip was captured around 3 AM by a family you might remember from a previous video on this channel, but let me give you a quick rundown so you're not lost. It all started on random nights when their daughter would suddenly wake up crying, and while they were trying to calm her down, they'd hear someone knocking on their front door. At first it seemed harmless, maybe a confused neighbor, maybe someone who had the wrong apartment, the kind of thing you brush off because you don't want to assume the worst. But it kept happening, night after night. Same soft knocking, same timing, and eventually curiosity got the best of them. One night, the father finally decided to check, and when he opened the door, there was a figure standing right outside. People who watched that first clip said the family made a huge mistake opening the door at that hour, because whatever that figure was, it's like something shifted after that moment. The knocking stopped, but other things started happening. Watch this.
Se están escuchando ruidos en la parte de abajo de la casa. Buenas noches. Buenas noches.
Hay una nueva mirada sobre los cuerpos, la edad, las identidades de género, el lujo.
¿Ya vieron el sillón?
Hice mi primer dieta a los 9 años. They all love me, but they want me to lose weight. Tienen como una propia cárcel. ¿Qué pasa cuando nos sacan todo? ¿Qué quieres? ¿Te animas a divertirte?
Desvestida, la moda pasó de moda. Todos los domingos, 10 de la
Se estaba moviendo, lo juro por Dios.
por Star Channel.
Cada vez empeora más esto. ¿Quién anda ahí? Buenas. Estoy bastante preocupado, se escucha ahora ruidos ahí arriba. Sea lo que seas, no perteneces aquí. No sé qué quieras. Vete de aquí, por favor. ¿Quién diablos prendió la televisión? Esta tele también.
Now the TV turns on by itself at night, and the rocking chair in the living room moves on its own. Slow, steady, like someone invisible has settled into it and is gently rocking back and forth. Viewers believe whatever had been knocking might have slipped inside when the door opened, almost as if the opening itself acted like an invitation. Others think the presence had been waiting for acknowledgement, and that moment at the door was the confirmation it needed. And with the rocking, the electronics flickering and powering on, and the strange, heavy silence where the knocking used to be, a lot of people feel this might only be the beginning of something more intense in that house. But what do you think is happening here? And what exactly can a family do in a situation like this? They might just be reading the comments looking for answers. The following clip has sparked a debate among believers and skeptics, and it all centers on a woman named Sydney and her sister Gretchen, Gretch as she calls her, who rented an Airbnb for a wedding they had that weekend. Only a few minutes after settling in, Sydney stepped out to walk the dog, but when she came back inside, this is what she met.
Jesus Christ.
Great.
Touch it.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
The curtain, the balloon, and the dog's leash that suddenly flung into the air on the staircase like someone yanked it upward. Skeptics immediately jumped in, insisting it was just the wind, or maybe the house settling, but others pushed back, pointing out how each object moved, almost as if something was interacting with them. Sydney and Gretch couldn't shake the feeling that something about this place was off, but it was only their first hour in the house, and leaving right away felt like they'd be overreacting. And besides, the dog seemed calm, which most people agreed was a sign there was nothing to worry about, but soon that would change.
Okay, so this is the leash. If this moves, I'm literally going to run. There she goes again. I don't think the leash is gonna move, but she's definitely sensing something. Every single day.
With the way the dog was reacting, there's definitely something on those stairs. It wasn't the curious kind of sniffing dogs do when they pick up a new scent. This was cautious, stiff, almost like he was bracing for whatever he sensed up there. And to make matters worse, one viewer commented that she actually recognized the Airbnb because of the carpet pattern, and claimed someone had died on those exact steps. Some believe that kind of energy can linger, attaching itself to the place and replaying moments of fear. Others think trauma can open a doorway, like the house becomes a magnet for things that don't belong in this world anymore. Sydney, determined to make sense of what was going on, began quietly looking around the house, checking corners and details she'd ignored when they first arrived. That's when she discovered something that might be the missing piece to their puzzle. Watch this.
Okay, so I think I figured out why my dog just is always hanging out right here. So I just found a door back here So I don't think that it's what's on the stairs. I think it's something that's underneath. So I tried to check, but the door is locked. Obviously it's an Airbnb, so they lock a lot of the doors up, but so yeah, I don't think that it's what's on the stairs, like what I initially thought. I think it's what's below. I want to find out at this point.
Now that they'd found a locked basement under the stairs, things finally began to add up. Sydney couldn't shake the feeling that whatever was happening on those steps, whatever her dog kept sensing and pacing around, was connected to whatever was sealed behind that door. It was almost like the dog was reacting to something moving underneath them, something it could feel but they couldn't. Curious and honestly a little desperate for answers, Sydney slid her phone under the door to see what might be inside. Watch this.
So this is the switch. You guys can see their light is on right there. I wonder if
just maybe there's someone right behind the door. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god, did that just happen?
The doorknob suddenly moved, like someone was trying to open it from the inside. At that point, the ladies were terrified, their thoughts going in every direction. At first, they tried to think logically. They even wondered if someone might actually be living down there because they'd experienced something similar at another Airbnb where the host was secretly double renting rooms. But when they checked the house again and found no one there, that theory fell apart, leaving them with something much more unsettling. After taking a moment to breathe and think through what just happened, the sisters decided to try again, this time hoping to catch whatever was turning the doorknob. But something even more terrifying happened. Have a look.
Scary. Okay. Okay, every time we've knocked before, this doorknob would turn a little bit.
Something yanked the phone straight out of Sydney's hand from the basement, and when the phone landed down there was no visible person in sight. Yet the phone kept moving, almost like it was being dragged or nudged by something just out of frame. Viewers started speculating immediately. Some thought someone was hiding in the shadows, others swore it looked like the phone was being pulled by an invisible force, the way objects shift during severe residual hauntings. They called the host, who eventually came over to unlock the basement so Sydney could retrieve her phone. But when he arrived, Sydney and her sister noticed something they couldn't ignore. Watch.
But there's no reason for me to go that way.
But I'm waiting to start hearing things from coming underneath my house. That's it. I'm out of here. The door. Okay, well, door two is creepy. Thank you.
The host had a tattoo of nested triangles on his right palm, and several viewers said they would bet anything that he knew more about that room than he was letting on. The symbol itself sent the comment section spiraling. Many viewers immediately recognized the symbol, saying it's associated with occult practices, protection marks, or rituals involving gateways or sealed rooms. The fact that this symbol was on his hand and the basement was locked under the stairs sent people into a frenzy. A few even suggested the tattoo might mean he tried sealing something in that basement, and that whatever it was might not be fully contained anymore. The situation worried a lot of people. Viewers kept asking for details, urging the sisters to leave the Airbnb immediately. Some even insisted they could get a refund if the host failed to disclose that someone else might also be renting the space. Eventually, Sydney responded with this update.
Okay, so I sent the video to the landlord of the Airbnb, and hold on, let me turn on the light. Okay, I sent the video to the landlord of the Airbnb asking, like, hey, is there someone else renting it out as well as us or what? Because there's a room under the stairs that we can't get into. It's locked, so I didn't know. And basically he was like, no, you guys are the only ones that are in the Airbnb right now, like booked out for the week. So okay, kind of feel relieved in a way, because I think it would be really weird and kind of creepy if there were people staying there as well that we didn't know about. But yeah, he didn't seem worried at all about it, so we'll see.
Now, Sydney is convinced they aren't dealing with a simple rental mishap. With the unexplained movement, the dog's behavior, the locked basement, the shaking doorknob, the phone being pulled, and the host's unsettling tattoo, it's getting harder and harder to deny that something else might be in that house. So what was in the basement? A spirit trying to get out? Or something trying very hard to keep others from getting in? You decide. The following clip was captured by Amanda, who's had some of the strangest encounters inside her home. About 2 weeks after she moved in, she woke up one morning to shocking news. A body had been found in her backyard. And according to Amanda, ever since that day, the house hasn't felt the same. Have a look.
I am freaked the f out. I just got home, and tell me why my chairs are like this. Like, what the f? I literally still have my coat on. I come walking through the fucking... Oh my god. I'm like shaking right now. I just went and dropped my daughter off to her dad's house. And all the chairs were around the table. What the f? Oh my god. I need to call my mom.
Chairs don't end up like this by accident, and this is not something caused by drafts, pets, or structural shifts. In paranormal discussions, this kind of activity is often linked to an intelligence trying to be noticed, especially when the setup is visually striking rather than destructive. Since then, Amanda says doors open on their own, lights flicker and malfunction, and the house feels different, heavier, quieter, like something is always just out of view. Some believe the discovery of the body may have triggered residual energy tied to trauma, while others think the attention and disturbance surrounding the property may have awakened something that was already there. Skeptics argue stress and fear can heighten awareness, making ordinary issues feel sinister, but others point out that recurring physical changes, especially ones involving multiple objects, are harder to dismiss. Now, Amanda just wants to know one thing. Is there a chance this all has a normal explanation? Or is this a situation that requires real intervention before it escalates? What do you think? This next video was captured by a family's security camera, installed after everyone in the house woke up to a loud bang in the middle of the night, followed by several other unsettling incidents they couldn't explain. Hoping to catch whatever was happening, they set up cameras. Take a look. Aside from the obvious breathing sound, viewers immediately notice something else. On the right side of the screen, along the staircase, something moved. When the family reviewed this footage, it made other moments fall into place. Just weeks earlier, the sister of one of the couples living here called her and asked what she was doing standing on her front porch. Now here's the problem. She wasn't home. She was at work, nowhere near the house. But the anxiety in the house escalated when the family noticed their dogs reacting. Watch this.
What is wrong, Cole? Stop barking. Connor! Knock it off! Hey! Barking at the door again. No one's there. Go on a quee. No one's there, honey. Nobody's here. It's all good. It's all good in the hood.
The dog repeatedly barks at the door, staring at it with focus. Not playful, not distracted, but locked in, as if responding to something it can sense but humans can't. Animals are often said to react to subtle changes in energy, sound frequencies, or presence long before people do. And when pets fixate on empty spaces, doors, or corners, many believe it's because something unseen has crossed into our world. And if you look at the activities they've experienced, the breathing caught on camera, the movement on the stairs, the mimic sighting on the porch, and the dogs reacting, this no longer feels like a single incident. It feels like a pattern. So could this be heightened anxiety and coincidence? Or is something inside the house slowly making itself known, watching, copying, and waiting? You decide. Now, in this next video, Nate, who's been trying to get to the bottom of whatever is happening inside his house, captures something new on camera. By now, his experiences follow a disturbing pattern. He wakes up to objects scattered across his kitchen floor, his dog refuses to enter certain corners of the house, and the sound of footsteps moving along the stairs when no one else is home. One night, while waiting for a UFC fight to start, he begins hearing something unusual. Listen closely.
Guys, I want you guys to check this out. So, I'm just chilling here, waiting for the UFC fights to start. Dog's there. And I'm just sitting here. I was re-racking my weights. And I was hearing the scratching. And it sounded like it was coming from like right in front of me. But I don't see anything. Like, up. I heard it. But I was like looking. And it sounded like it was coming from like... You hear that? What the f is that? It sounded like it was coming from like right in front here, but I don't see anything else. What the f? Like, I have no clue.
Hearing scratching or dragging sounds can mean something is trying to mark territory or test physical boundaries, especially when it happens repeatedly in the same areas of a home. Another detail viewers couldn't ignore is Nate's environment. His house is almost always dark. Many believe prolonged darkness, cluttered spaces, and low lighting can make activity feel stronger, either by heightening fear or, according to paranormal belief, by creating conditions where negative entities feel more comfortable. Another night, a different sound woke him. This time, it wasn't scratching, it was stomping, and when Nate got up to check the house, this happened.
Hey guys. So I was upstairs and was woken up to the sound of stomping down here. I mean, loud stomping. It is currently 2:52 a.m. So it's a little before 3 a.m. And the weird thing about it is when I woke up to the sound of the stomping, the dog was sleeping, not even alerted. It's almost like she couldn't hear it. So, as soon as I came down, I walked into like a cold spot. It felt like a certain area was cold. But it was loud. It was such a loud stomp. Like I said, it's 2:53 a.m.
Scratching, stomping, footsteps, all familiar at this point. But what truly unsettled him was something else entirely. His dog didn't react. Normally, animals respond instantly to loud physical sounds, yet during the stomping, his dog remained unusually calm, as if it either couldn't hear it or didn't perceive it the same way Nate did. Some believe the dog may have already learned to avoid reacting, but this concern quickly became secondary. Because the next morning, Nate woke up to something far more disturbing: scratches on his body. If this had happened once, it's easy to say he accidentally scratched himself while he was asleep, a reaction to fabric, even stress-related skin irritation. But it didn't stop. It kept happening. And on the morning after the stomping incident, he recorded this. Watch.
So the people that were asking for a better view of the scratch that I woke up with on my leg. Here it is. Like I said, it's not super deep, but it goes down pretty far. And I also noticed on the opposite side, I have 2 here on the same leg, but on the opposite side, that I woke up this morning with. Now, these ones didn't burn as bad as this one. This one was 2 mornings ago when I woke up. This burned, and I looked down and saw that. And then this morning when I got up at like 2:30 a.m., I woke up to stomping downstairs. And it wasn't until after I worked out and everything that I noticed these. So, yeah, that's the update.
As Nate shows the marks on his body, many viewers begin connecting everything. The scratching sounds at night, the dragging noises, the stomping footsteps, and now, physical marks appearing while he sleeps. This points to something more than a simple house haunting. Physical interaction, especially repeated scratching, is often cited in cases involving attachments rather than locations. Some believe this points towards something escalating, moving from environmental disturbances to personal interaction. Others think whatever is in the house may be trying to assert control, feeding on fear, isolation, or even exhaustion. And the most disturbing part, the activity isn't random anymore. It's consistent, and it's getting closer. So whether it's an attachment, an oppressive presence, or something feeding off the darkness and silence, one thing is clear. Whatever this is, it's no longer staying in the shadows. And until Nate gets answers, this case remains deeply unsettling and completely unsolved. In the following video, a woman's first son is home alone, quietly watching TV when he suddenly hears someone call his name. At first, he doesn't think much of it, until he responds and hears the voice again. This time, it sounds exactly like his little brother. Watch.
Hola. ¿Quién es?
Soy yo. ¿Tú? ¿Quieres jugar a la pelota?
Pero la Chu no se había ido al médico con mi madre. ¡Hijo de p***!
Hola, Michael. No, si la Chu está acá en el médico, estamos en el médico acá, vamos a demorar un poco para llegar. No estamos en casa.
The confusion sets in immediately. His brother isn't home, he's at the hospital with their mother, waiting to see a doctor. So there's no possible reason for his voice to be inside the house. But many viewers believe he didn't handle the situation well when he responded. In paranormal folklore, responding to a voice you can't verify is often considered a mistake, especially when the voice belongs to someone who physically isn't there. Many believe mimics rely on acknowledgement, and once you answer, you're confirming awareness, opening the door for further interaction. That's why one of the most repeated rules in cases like this is simple: don't respond, don't investigate, and don't follow the voice. As for what this could be, most people landed on 2 possibilities: a mimic or a doppelganger. And while the terms are often used interchangeably online, there's an important difference. A mimic imitates voices to provoke a response. It doesn't need to be seen. It feeds on confusion and fear, using familiar voices to draw someone in, often calling names or repeating phrases. Also, it's usually heard before it's ever seen, if it's seen at all. A doppelganger, on the other hand, is typically visual. It's believed to appear as a full physical copy of a person, seen walking, standing, or watching, sometimes even interacting briefly before disappearing. Doppelgangers are less about sound and more about presence. In this case, there's no figure, no visual confirmation, just a voice, perfectly copied, calling out from inside the house. That leans heavily toward a mimic, and once a voice knows you'll answer, it rarely stops calling. So, which was it? You decide. Now, in this next clip, popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his investigation inside the infamous Boyd house. At this point, he's still inside the room with the haunted painting. the same room where the power mysteriously died the moment the artwork was brought in. Earlier, Ian heard a heavy dragging sound echo through the room. Most people would have left immediately, but Ian didn't. Instead of backing out, he stayed put and began slowly scanning the room, hoping to capture something. Watch closely.
See if anyone's out in the hallway here. Oh my god. Calm down. Oh, calm down. That sounded like a growl. And worst of all, it came from that closet that I was just in. Okay. Oh gosh. Gosh. Oh, whoa, what the hell is that? Dude, what the Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I'm ready to get the hell out of here. There's something in there. There's something in there.
Aside from the low, unsettling growl that can be heard, something far more disturbing appears on his thermal camera. When you look closer, the shape resembles a distorted human face, and this room has a long history of activity. Ever since that painting arrived, the disturbances seem to center there. No electricity, sudden noises, and now, a possible manifestation. Many believe cursed objects can act as anchors, giving something a place to attach itself, feed from, and eventually show itself. If that's true, then this raises an unsettling question. Was this the first time the entity tied to the painting allowed itself to be seen? Or has it always been there, just waiting for someone to stay long enough to notice it? For more haunting videos, including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following video was captured by a group of ghost hunters who decided to explore an abandoned house after several reports suggested something dark was attached to the property. From the moment they stepped inside, they described the atmosphere as heavy, tense, and almost hostile. The kind of place where silence doesn't feel empty, but watchful. Believing the presence to be malevolent, they began praying, hoping to protect themselves and possibly force whatever was there to reveal itself. But according to many paranormal beliefs, prayer doesn't always bring peace. Some say it agitates negative entities, almost like shining a light on something that wants to stay hidden. Watch what happens next.
Bun.
Ești sigur?
Da. Hai, uite acum zic. Ia. Cred în bunul Dumnezeu Tatăl Altotțiitorul, Făcătorul cerului și al pământului.
Oprește-te, oprește! Băi, Alin, uite alea cum fac bilile toate trei.
Știu unde am rămas.
Ea nu va pleca.
Da, știu când va pleca. Tatăl Altotțiitorului, Făcătorul cerului și al pământului, care pretutindeni și pe toate le împlinești, vistierul bunătăților și dătătorule de viață, vino și ne slăzășluiește întru noi și ne cu toată închinăciunea. Băi, nebunilor, băi!
Fai de capul meu!
Ce s-o sparg? Nu s-o sparg nimic. Cum să spargă ceva?
Frate, nimic nu.
Doamne ferește. Dar ce să spargă?
Hai de capul meu!
Dar nu se vede.
Mi-e frică, nu mai fă, frate, că murim!
Păi da, bine că s-o auzit spart, dar nu-i spart nimic. Deci vă asigur eu că nu-i spart nimic. Ce să fie spart?
Dau arda aici pe mâini, pe nu-i jali, băi.
Viewers believe this reaction suggests the presence felt threatened, not comforted by the prayers. Others argue that prayer can act as a form of confrontation, drawing attention from entities that feed on fear or resistance. Whatever the case, the timing is hard to ignore, but until we get more updates about this house, this remains unsolved. Now, in the following videos, a man and his family are convinced they're living with a ghost. In fact, they've gone as far as giving it a name, Ghost Malone, a playful nod to Post Malone, because according to them, the presence feels calm, relaxed, and non-threatening. They say things move around their house almost every night, especially toys, but insist it has never tried to hurt them. Still, many viewers can't help but ask the same question. How long does a spirit stay harmless? Take a look at what a typical night in their home looks like.
It's 3:30 in the morning. I swear on my life. For freaking toy cars. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. No. No, sir, no, ma'am. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know whether to wake Elizabeth or somebody call Justin Nunley or an exorcist. I mean, I'm not scared, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't shaking. So I'm just gonna leave it there till the morning for Elizabeth to come play with it. And it's not electronical, y'all. There's no damn motor in that thing. I feel so weird and out of place right now. I don't know if it's still there. To be truthful, I'm thinking about just leaving Elizabeth in Revelation and going somewhere for the night. I don't know what to do. Let's check on her. You still there? Pirates of the Caribbean's getting good. I'm not scared. I'm just kind of freaked out because, like, it's friendly. Hasn't thrown it.
What immediately stands out is the toy car. It has no batteries, no electrical components, and yet it moves on its own. Some viewers tried to brush it off as coincidence, uneven flooring, or leftover momentum, but those explanations quickly fall apart when you realize this isn't a one-time event, and it's not just one toy. Similar things have happened repeatedly, and after seeing this clip, many people weren't convinced that whatever was in the house was truly harmless. Some believe genuinely good spirits are rare, and when they do exist, they don't usually interact directly with the living. Concerned viewers suggested the father try certain cleansing methods to see how the presence would react, a way to test whether the entity was truly peaceful or simply pretending. So the next morning, he followed some of those suggestions. Watch what happened.
I actually fell asleep, and this is what I woke up to. Elizabeth. Baby. Hey. Okay, no, for real, like, so what are we doing? Oh. Okay. Are you... Somebody said salt. Hold on.
I don't know if you're supposed to draw a circle around it.
Well, it's a half circle, but I don't think you're supposed to do anything else. I don't know. Y'all got suggestions, let me know.
Instead of focusing on the fact that the holy water, salt, and prayers didn't seem to drive anything away, viewers noticed something far more disturbing. If you look closely at the doorway, you can see what appears to be a small, childlike figure standing completely still. That single detail sent chills through the comment section, but that raised another unsettling question. Why did the cleansing attempt seem to have little to no effect? Well, things escalated beyond toys. Watch this.
Are you there? Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Well, that's one of the things that I've discovered.
Whenever the house goes quiet, all he has to do is ask, "Are you there?" And something moves in response. At that point, many viewers said it could no longer be coincidence. But what troubled people even more was the interaction itself. A lot of paranormal believers warn that acknowledging a spirit gives it energy. Others say responding invites it closer, strengthens its presence, or even allows attachment. Despite all of that, the family continues living as normal, still convinced it isn't dangerous. One night, they didn't only check if it was there, they tried to communicate with it. Watch closely.
So we are all sitting here, enjoying our Taco Bell, right? And Ghost Malone was over there shaking the door a second ago. Ghost Malone, if you are still around, do something.
Give us a sign.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, nonchalant. Alright, so ironically, I'm watching Ghostbusters, right? Ghost Malone, Ghosty. Yo. Are you kidding? Alright, so I've been asking Ghost Malone some questions. Okay, so 1 time if you're there, 2 times, or I guess no times if you're not. Definitely there, okay. Are you friendly? Okay, okay. Do you like Ghostbusters? No? Okay, do you like movies? Okay, okay. Alright, just on Ghostbusters, I guess it's insulting. Are you here to cause harm? Okay. Okay. Man, I wish I knew Morse code. We'd try that. Are you an older spirit? Okay, but not a bad spirit. Okay. Is there more than one of you? Oh, okay.
Many believe dark entities don't reveal their true nature immediately. Instead, they appear calm, friendly, even playful, a tactic often compared to the Annabelle doll, which was first believed to be harmless before far darker activity followed. Because of this, viewers are increasingly convinced that whatever this entity is, it may be growing stronger, not kinder. People urge the family to stop interacting, cleanse the home thoroughly, and protect themselves before things escalated further. But none of the things happening bothers them. Take a look.
So, a couple weird things have happened tonight. Like my mom's painting over there has moved. And Ghosty. Ghost Malone. You there? Don't judge the trash. It's trash day. Ghosty. Okay. Maxie, what was that? Huh? So we're sitting here. Revelation here, is it?
Hi, Maxie.
It should also be noted that we've had several offers from paranormal people to come here and whatnot. We're down, but there's been a few of them that are private profiles, minus the big ones you guys have suggested. Nobody's reached out, but I don't know. I might take offers for people to just come stay the night so you can see whether it's real or not for yourself. I don't know. But yeah, I am gonna take a list of questions. I've been writing down in the comments all the questions you guys have for Ghost Malone. And then we're going to do the Stranger Things light or dog button things to see if that does anything.
This time, even the dog reacts. As the playpen moves, the dog retreats into its cage, a response many believe animals only show when they sense something threatening. According to viewers, a presence strong enough to move objects, frighten a dog, and respond intelligently isn't something to take lightly. Some believe this entity was never harmless, just patient. But until the family shares more updates, all anyone can do is hope the situation doesn't turn dangerous. Now, in this next video, a guy who goes by the username Mosh moved to Appalachia, and according to him, he hasn't had a single peaceful moment since. Appalachia is one of those places people constantly warn you about. Dense forests, winding back roads, long stretches with no cell service, and generations of folklore that all seem to agree on one thing. If something calls out to you out there, you don't answer. Many believe the land itself holds onto things that don't like being disturbed. Mosh has been documenting his experiences both inside his home and outside, and in several of his earlier videos, paranormal investigators and longtime viewers suggested he might be dealing with what are often called jokester spirits, entities that don't immediately harm you, but thrive on fear, confusion, and reaction. They mimic sounds, footsteps, and voices just enough to make you question your sanity. One night, while walking, Mosh suddenly got the overwhelming feeling that something was following him. Not just a sound, but a presence, staying just out of sight. Trusting his instincts, he checked the camera he installed in the house and saw this. Watch. After reviewing the footage, many viewers say this explains a lot. The unexplained footsteps, the whispers he's heard when no one is around, and that constant sense of being watched. Some believe whatever this is has been testing boundaries, slowly revealing itself once it realized Mosh was paying attention. Others think it's feeding off his fear, waiting for the moment he reacts or responds. So, what do you see in this video? And more importantly, what do you think has been following him this whole time? The following video is shared by a man who had previously documented how everything in his apartment changed the moment he brought home a set of old toys. Almost immediately, the space felt different. Knocking sounds began echoing through the walls, objects shifted on their own, and at times the presence felt so overwhelming that he would lock himself in another room out of fear. But this next video unsettles viewers for a different reason. This time, none of the dolls or toys are visible anywhere in the apartment, and yet, the activity continues. Watch closely.
Son las 2 de la mañana, se están escuchando ruidos en la sala. Está moviendo la silla, raza. La madre. Escucho algo acá, raza. Un balón de desodorante. ¿Qué estará pasando, anda? Madre.
Whatever is disturbing this apartment hasn't left with the objects themselves. Many believe spirits don't always stay attached to the item that brought them in. Some think the toys may have acted as a doorway, something that allowed an entity to anchor itself to the space rather than the objects. Others argue this could be residual energy, replaying moments of disturbance long after the source is removed. But there's also a darker theory, that removing the items only angered whatever was invited in. But what do you think? Now in this next clip, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian investigates the Mabel Tainter Memorial Theater, a location widely considered one of the most haunted places in Wisconsin. The theater was commissioned in 1889 by Captain Andrew Tainter and his wife Bertha in honor of their late daughter Mabel Tainter, who tragically died at just 19 years old. In life, Mabel was deeply passionate about music and the arts, and because of that, no expense was spared in the theater's design. From its grand architecture to its detailed interior, the building was meant to preserve her spirit and legacy. While exploring the theater late at night, Ian begins taking photographs inside the theater room when he suddenly hears a loud bang echo through the building. Tracing the noise, Ian follows it to an office once used by Reverend Henry Maxson. Watch closely.
That's his old chalkboard right there. And that is his handwriting. They've kept that preserved. That must have been from his last lecture before dying. Father, if you are indeed in here,
Could you tap on your chalkboard? Make a tapping sound like you're writing on it. I would be amazed if you did that. What the? That sounded like paper being moved. It was on this desk. Like, whoa, you see that? Dude! Look at that! That has to be it. Look at that, it's literally hanging off of the table.
Maxon wasn't just any figure connected to this place. He was the Unitarian pastor who originally convinced Andrew and Bertha Tainter to build the memorial for Mabel. When the building officially opened in 1890, it served not only as a theater, but also as a community center and the permanent home of the Unitarian Society of Menomonee. Maxon himself gave the presentation address at the building's dedication, and for years, Sunday services were held directly on the theater's stage, with Maxon preaching to the congregation. Before leaving the office, Ian decides to set his camera down, leaving it recording as he steps away. What happens next is unsettling. Did Ian manage to capture the ghost of Reverend Henry Maxton still sitting at his desk, tied to the theater he once served? For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. In the following clip, a family's home security camera captures something they never expected involving their young son, who is autistic and extremely sensitive to changes in his environment. His parents explain that he's very routine-oriented and easily distressed by anything being out of place, especially at night. One night, while the entire household was asleep, they suddenly heard their son screaming in terror. Watch.
Mom, the elf got a man at the door!
Imagine waking up around 1 a.m. to your autistic son crying, insisting that the elf on the shelf had moved on its own. For those unfamiliar, Elf on the Shelf is a popular holiday tradition where parents move a small elf figurine around the house each night to make it appear as though it's watching children's behavior for Santa. The rule is simple: the elf only moves when no one is watching. But in this case, no one was touching it when it moved. What makes this more unsettling is that the child was genuinely terrified, not confused or playful. Some viewers believe the stress of the tradition itself can cause children, especially those with sensory sensitivities, to panic when something appears different. Others point out that Elf on the Shelf has long been tied to darker folklore: small watching figures, silent observers, and objects believed to invite unwanted attention into a home. A few even argue that objects meant to watch children, even symbolically, can create fear-based expectations that manifest in disturbing ways. Whether this was a misunderstanding, a moment of heightened fear, or something far more unsettling, one thing is certain: the family hasn't been able to look at that elf the same way since. But what do you think happened here? Now, this next clip is an update from a previous video about a family who went to check out an apartment they were considering renting. At first, everything seemed normal, until just minutes after stepping inside, an unidentified voice was suddenly heard whispering the word Jadis. At the time, many viewers believed it could have been interference, audio distortion, or even someone outside the apartment. But something about the voice didn't sit right. After that video gained attention, the woman went back through the footage she recorded inside the apartment, and that's when she noticed something else she completely missed before. Watch closely.
Oh my god.
Just like the previous video, another voice can be heard. This time, some people swear they hear it saying, "Don't buy," almost like a warning. Others hear what sounds like a young boy softly saying, "Hello, Mum," while a different group of viewers are convinced the voice is saying, "Grandpa." What makes this unsettling is how common whispers are in reports tied to supposedly empty homes. Paranormal researchers often say whispered voices are one of the earliest signs of a presence, especially in places with emotional residue, homes where someone may have lived, passed away, or never fully moved on. Unlike loud noises, whispers are believed to be intentional, subtle, and directed, meant to be heard by specific people rather than caught accidentally. The first clip left many viewers deeply concerned, questioning whether the family went through with renting the apartment. But later, she confirmed that they didn't. And judging by what was captured on camera, many believe that decision may have spared them from something far more unsettling, whether the voices were warning them away or trying to make contact. This apartment clearly isn't as empty as it appears. In this next video, a woman who's been experiencing strange activity in her home finally manages to capture something on camera. For a while now, she's claimed to see dark figures appearing briefly in different parts of the house, always just out of full view, always gone the moment she looks directly at them. One evening, while she was home alone, she stepped out of her bathroom and noticed something unusual. Watch closely.
I hear a woman humming. You heard it too, huh?
As she walks out of the bathroom, she catches sight of something black moving. At first, she assumes it's just a shadow or her eyes adjusting to the lighting, but when she turns her head, the shape is still there, a dark, human-like figure peeping before vanishing moments later. Many viewers believe this could be what's commonly referred to as a shadow figure, entities often described as pitch-black silhouettes that appear briefly and disappear without a trace. Others think it could be tied to stress, fatigue, or the brain misinterpreting familiar spaces, especially when someone is alone and alert. But some point out that seeing a figure clearly enough to turn and face it suggests something more than imagination. Whether this was a shadow entity, residual energy, or something her mind can't explain yet, one thing is certain: whatever she saw felt real enough to leave her shaken. But Stego you think she's dealing with? Now, in this next clip, a family is dealing with the terrifying consequences of opening their door to something knocking in the middle of the night. At first, they thought it was just a mistake, maybe a neighbor, maybe kids playing a prank, but ever since that moment, their nights have been anything but normal. Sleep has become nearly impossible. Objects shift around the house on their own, voices are heard when no one else is awake, and the knocking never truly stops. It only moves, echoing from different parts of the home. Watch this.
Voy a ir a ver, güey.
Sí, sí, ve.
Ya estoy grabando, ¿eh?
Sí, ya. Con cuidado, el palo, el tubo, ¿cómo está?
No mames, pero está tocando bien de güey. Aquí está, aquí está, aquí. A la máquina, güey. Márcala a la policía, güey. Sí. A la madre. tu puta madre. ¿Qué quieres? Ábreme, hijo de tu pinche madre. ¿Quién eres? Soy el que andas buscando. ¿O que me querías ver? Aquí estoy. Ábreme. La sangre de Cristo tiene poder. Ábreme, hijo de tu pinche madre. ¿Qué eres? Soy el que tú quieres ver, cabrón. Ábreme, hijo de tu pinche madre. ¿Por qué estás molestando aquí? Aquí no hay nada. Y ahí le llamé a la patrulla, ¿eh? Ábreme, hijo de tu pinche madre. ¿Querías verme? Pues aquí estoy. Pues entra a ver. Ya estoy adentro de tu casa. Ábreme, hijo de tu pinche madre. Lárgate a chingar a tu madre de aquí. Ya le hablé a la patrulla, ¿eh? Ábreme, hijo de tu pinche madre. Ya estoy ahí adentro de tu casa. Ya viene la patrulla, nada más te aviso, ¿eh? Lárgate de aquí. Lárgate. Ya le abriste a la patrulla.
What makes this moment especially unsettling is that whatever is inside the house doesn't just knock anymore. This time, it responds. Paranormal researchers often warn that responding to unknown knocking or voices at night is one of the worst things you can do. Many believe it's an invitation, an acknowledgement that gives whatever is outside permission to cross a boundary. In this case, it seems whatever entered that night may be growing stronger, or worse, drawing in other presences. Some believe one spirit can act like a doorway, inviting others to follow. And judging by how the activity has escalated, this family may no longer be dealing with just one thing. But until we receive more updates from the family, this remains unsolved. The following clip was recorded by a team of paranormal investigators who entered a house already known for intense activity. From the moment they stepped inside, they said the atmosphere felt heavy, almost oppressive, like they were being watched. In a previous video we shared about this same location, their first instinct was to pray, something many believe can provoke or expose darker entities rather than calm them, and in that case, the prayers seemed to force whatever was in the house to make itself known. This time, their attention was drawn to a creepy doll sitting quietly inside the home. Instead of avoiding it, they decided to use it as part of an experiment. Watch closely.
Oricare spirit te află aici, oricare entitate, oricare demon, oricare suflet neliniștit, oricare strigoi, prin puterea primordială prin care am fost investit, îți ordon să miști pina aia. Marș de aici! Bă, mea! Râmea aia, băi, frate! Marș de aici, că nu cred așa ceva. Holy Jesus Christ! Îți ordon să miști pina aia. Marș de aici! Bă, mea! Vă arăt pina asta? Că nu-i legată cu nimic? Hă? Of, Doamne! Vă arăt pina asta? Hă?
Uite cum a două încoace, iau răstoarnă, învârte și tot. Uite Dumnezeu, uite
Vă arăt pina asta care nu-i legată cu nimic?
Uite picioare în ea, măi.
Hă? Dacă răbușa nu e abonată de asta.
Dar oricum poate să filmezi, stai seama.
Vă arăt, mă, puterea asta primordială?
There was nothing attached to the doll. No strings, no tricks, no hidden mechanism. The doll moved on its own. Some viewers argue the movement could be explained by balance or vibrations, but one of the investigators wasn't convinced that this alone was enough proof, so they decided to test something else nearby. choosing a completely different object to rule out coincidence. Take a look.
Oricare spirit te afla, oricare entitate, oricare demon, oricare strigoi, prin puterea primordială prin care am fost investit de către patriarh, îți ordon să miști.
Mirela.
Mișcă poza aia sau dă-o jos, fă ceva. Mași de aici! Aoleu! Uitați pozele, uitați poșetele, uitați poza că nu e legată cu nimic. Da? Uitați. Uitați pozele, uitați. Da? Da, Doamne.
After the second attempt, it became much harder to dismiss what was happening. Two separate objects responding under similar conditions suggested this wasn't just about the doll itself. Still, wanting absolute confirmation, they pushed further and attempted one final test. This time, they focused on something much larger.
Prin puterea prin care am fost investit, să rup perdeaua aia. Trage-o cât are. Băi, Alin, băi.
The curtain suddenly moved with force. Many believe this escalation is significant, and some say it shows the presence growing more aggressive the more it's challenged, while others warn that repeated provocation can turn a passive entity into a dangerous one. According to paranormal belief, spirits that respond with increasing force aren't simply playful, they're territorial, reactive, and possibly hostile. Whether this was a buildup of energy, a violent entity asserting control, or something darker reacting to being tested, one thing is clear: whatever was inside that house didn't like being questioned. Now, in this next clip, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian investigates the Mabel Tainter Memorial Theater, and this time he heads down into the basement. At first, everything feels calm, just old artifacts, storage rooms, and the quiet hum you'd expect from a historic building. But that calm doesn't last long. Watch and listen closely.
Creepy old fireplace. Oh my god, those sounded like voices. Hello? That legit sounded like people talking. Who's talking? Okay, there's definitely someone in there. It sounds like people talking in here. Hello? Who's in there? Talk to me. What's your name? Oh my gosh. Is there someone in here? There's literally nobody in here. Yet it sounded like there were. Oh. What's that smell?
The voices sound distant, almost conversational, as if someone is speaking just out of sight. Ian pauses, trying to pinpoint where it's coming from, when something else happens that confirms his suspicion that he isn't alone.
Alright, I know somebody's down here with me. Could you give me a sign of your presence? That door just opened! Oh my god! What just happened? Look at that. What? Are you serious? How do you explain that?
drawer just went boom. It just opened by itself. Thank you for opening the drawer. Could you shut it? That cigar smell is a lot stronger over here. It literally feels like there's 4 different spirits here sitting in each one of these chairs. And one of them just opened that. I can't thank you enough for opening that drawer. Thank you so much, because that was phenomenal. You got my heart rate going up. No way. It just moved again. Did you see that? Oh my God. I have no explanation for that. Wow, I am blown away. Thank you so much again.
This time, the movement isn't dramatic, but it's deliberate enough to catch his attention. Some viewers believe it's a response, subtle, controlled, and intentional. Ian considers possible explanations like pressure changes or airflow, but he can't find anything in the basement that would account for what just happened. Adding to the unease, longtime staff and investigators have shared rumors about this basement over the years. Some claim it's a hotspot for unexplained voices, especially late at night. Others say footsteps can be heard pacing back and forth when no one else is below, while a few report feeling sudden dizziness or heaviness in their chest after spending too much time down there. There are even stories suggesting the basement may have been used for private meetings and rehearsals long ago, leaving behind residual energy tied to intense emotion. So what do you think? Lingering energy from the theater's long history, or something more dangerous? For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now.